them take this. You got fucked like I LASIK, yeah. I see straight, yeah, hop on spaces, we get crazy, yeah. Screen J for J, straight from the town hall to the stages, yeah. Big old playlist, just 6 months and now it's ageless, yeah. Appreciation, it's a motto, it's the way, yeah. Conversations and alignment and Jason's, yeah. Compilations of the dubs and the amazements, yeah. Juke the nation, we united, we the greatest, yeah. Juke, 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 juke. Juke, 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 juke. Juke for some juke, that's exchanging truth for truth. Soup, early soup, that's the way that we need more, yeah. Juke, 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 juke. Juke, 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 juke. Juke for some juke, that's exchanging truth for truth. Soup, early soup, that's the way that we need more, yeah. Like I LASIK, yeah. I see straight, yeah, hop on spaces, we get crazy, yeah. Screen J for J, straight from the town hall to the stages, yeah. Big old playlist, just 6 months and now it's ageless, yeah. Appreciation, it's a motto, it's the way, yeah. Conversations and alignment and Jason's, yeah. Compilations of the dubs and the amazements, yeah. Juke the nation, we united, we the greatest, yeah. Juke, 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 juke. Juke, 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 juke. Juke for some juke, that's exchanging truth for truth. Soup, early soup, that's the way that we need more, yeah. Juke, 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 juke. Juke, 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 juke. Juke for some juke, that's exchanging truth for truth. Soup, early soup, that's the way that we need more, yeah.
Oh, hey there, Meow. How you doing, buddy boy?
Hello. How's it going?
Ooh, it's JUP rally time, so you know I'm amped up. My goodness. It's been a minute, my guy. When was the last time we did one of these?
Sorry?
When was the last time we did one of these?
Man, it's so good to see everyone. Hello. How's it going, guys? Let's go.
Have a little JM in the chat. Let me be honest with you, Meow. We've had the pleasure of many great co-hosts on the Planetary Call. Shout out to my guy, Vibu. Shout out to OG. Shout out to everybody that's been up there. But the people, they have been looking for you. And that's in fact right. Meow's got a setup. He's got Wi-Fi. He's got a camera that's not a potato. That's how you know. Meow's back in action. He used the proceeds. What was that?
But check it out. I got a busted needle.
These are the things that happen when you turn 65, people. Your knees hurt, your back hurts, and all the rest of the stuff hurts. But today is a major JUP rally. This is one that we've been looking forward to for a little minute. Not only are Kash and Meow reunited, the Nepal effect. Not only are we going to have a blast with all of you, the Jupiter faithful, but we are also going to cover some massive ground. But before we're even legally allowed to do that, I must do one very important thing. And I think you already know what it is, which is hope. There it is. It is play the unofficial Cat Ed theme song. Let's go. That's right. It is back to rally time. The chat is literally dancing right now. My goodness, look at all these things. People are excited to have you back, buddy. You want to give a little quick download on Nepal?
Me? So funny. So
the people know a little bit.
What's that, sorry?
So tell the people, to give them just a little taste, a little teaser. What were you doing in Nepal?
I was so basically I think the past few months has been quite brutal, right? Just a lot of stuff to do. I think lots of product stuff, and I think I also realized that there were a lot of I had a lot of failures, right? Make sense? I think a lot of failures. I think I definitely feel like I think I did really well up to Istanbul, right? So I'm saying, so guys, I do this thing that I call a personal review, right? Make sense? So I often do this thing called personal review. So I think quite hard about kind of what are things that I do well and what are things I didn't do well. Does it make sense? Right? Mm-hmm. So I was like, one of the things that I thought I did well was that I thought I did pretty well up to Istanbul. Right? So I'm saying, right? But I think after Istanbul, I think that I don't think I executed particularly well, particularly on a lot of the way the proposals and a lot of the issues are handled. So I'm saying, right? And I think a lot of it was actually down to skill problems, skill problems, right? Like skill problems, right? Yeah, skill issues, like seriously, serious skill issues. I think I was I think a lot of the unhappiness could actually have been not happened or happened less if I did it better. Does that make sense, right? Also another thing was that so after reflecting on that, I think I was figuring out how to after obviously I took a bit of I took a bit of time off screen, right? So I was working on product, right? So I took Kash. Basically, what happens? I told Kash that cool. You know what? I think it's better if you take the lead on the DAO stuff and community stuff, right? While I focus on product and team. You know what I'm saying? So what I did was that I made sure that so obviously so that was around I think March, I think, right? And obviously I think a lot of stuff was being developed but not being shipped. I'm saying, right? And that was true, and that was true across Jupiter Mobile, across Jupnet, across everything else. So so I think I spent a bit of time. I think I spent about 2 months doing that. I think from about I think March and early March and April, right? Yeah, but I think so. Anyway, I was in Nepal with anyway. So I was like, okay, but so after I did that, and I was like, cool. I wanted to kind of improve the things that I didn't do that well in. Make sense? On the communications and communications and narrative side of things, right? Content side of things. So anyway, I went to Nepal. So then and Kash know this, but basically I went to Nepal with a YouTuber, right? His name is Arab. Yeah.
Shout out to the homie Arab, great dude.
Arab, yeah. So I was actually in Nepal with Arab, right? And then so we were doing a lot of content together. Right, so I think he's a pretty famous YouTuber. He does stuff with iShow Speed, Luke Belma, and everything. Right. Anyway, I think we are doing some content. We're doing some content together, right, on Nepal. Right. So part of the content was like hanging out with the part of the content that we did was like going on this like pretty rough track, right? I'm saying with the Gurus, right, which is kind of like a mountain tribe, right? Saying and they were tough, man. They were so tough, right? They were so tough. They were so fucking tough, right? It's like I was walking up, I get why the Nepali people were so tough. I was walking up with no pack at all, right? And then and they were just walking up with like big huge packs, no problem, easy, right? Okay? And then the really funny thing and the really funny thing is that I tried to carry on those guys, right? I'm like, dude, no problem, easy, try carrying them, right? Holy shit, I could barely lift it up. And I carried it for 20 minutes. I almost died. I'm not joking, seriously. You see over here? You see a scar here?
Oh my god.
Yeah. I incurred scars from carrying that shit for 20 minutes. Holy shit. Anyway, and it's fine. It was really, but anyway, I was up on the mountain, right? Anyway, what happens out of the mountain? I was coming down, and then I twisted my knee. See what I'm saying? Right? And then so I was like, oh my god, fuck. Anyway, I had to walk down for 5 hours with the No. I mean,
Nick says strip stream.
No,
I'm laughing at Nick's comment. Strip stream. Yeah. The longer this goes, every hour, Meow will remove one piece of clothing. Yeah.
And you know, but it was actually pretty funny because like I clear myself. But anyway, I think that anyway, so what happened was that so that's happened. Yeah. Anyway, we also told. So we shared the content, you know, and we also talked a lot of stuff. But I was actually really lucky because like if I had been twist, if I felt a bit harder, just a little bit harder and stuff, I would have sprained torn my ligament. Yeah. So I think but turns out that it was only a minor tear and not a major tear. Right? See what I'm saying? You know, so it's really good. Yeah. And it's like anyway, we share a lot of content. I learned a lot about content production, right? See what I'm saying? Yeah, it's true. I touched too much grass. Seriously, I just went down on the grass. And my knee, unfortunately, yeah. But it's fine. Yeah, so that's happened. Yeah. So I think so I'm gonna do a few vlogs soon. It'll be fun. Yeah.
It's going to be very fun. And speaking of fun times, Meow, we have just a banger of a JUP rally that we should really get into. For those who don't know, my name is Kash, Cat Herder. For those of you who don't know, this is Meow, aka the Thirst Trapper Extraordinaire over at Jupiter.
Content.
Yes, content. A very spicy kind of content. And today we have some non-spicy content for you, but some very exciting stuff. What we're going to talk about in this JUP rally, which is different than the Planetary Call. I know it's the same time and place, but remember, Planetary Call, much more about kind of like product news updates, catching up with the community and so forth. JUP rally, we really want to focus on some key ideas that are circulating in our minds, in the team's minds, and in the community's minds. So today we've got 4 things on the agenda. Progress towards the DeFi Superapp. We're going to talk about that and kind of give it a high-level view of where we are and where we're going. Then we're going to talk about the JUP DAO, because a lot of big things are happening over there, including a new proposal that was just posted to JUP Research. We'll talk about that in just a minute. Then, the first time since Catstemple, we're going to get a Jupnet update. People have been asking, they've been banging down the door, and they want to know. Nick and the rest of the team, Nick, Dean, CG, Ronnie, etc., have been hard at work, and so there's some new things to share there. And at the very end, Meow is going to talk. How do you want to frame that section, Meow? How would you tease that?
Nah, just go. No,
don't even want to tease it.
I've been working on it for 8 years actually. I think today's call is actually important for me because there are 3 things I've been working on for like many years, right? The first one that I'll go through is Ultra V2, right? We've been working on Ultra V2 for like 8 years, way before Jupiter, right? Because I think I'll talk about that. And Jupnet, I also been working many years since WBTC. And also this essay is something I've been working on for like 8 years, right? See what I'm saying? Yeah. So there are a lot of things I've been working on for like since like my very start of my crypto journey. See what I'm saying? You know, so I think which is what I'm really excited to share with you guys. Yeah, today. Yeah. Which is why this the Nepal thing was cool, right? Because I think that hiking down on a busted knee for 5 hours gives you time to think about stuff, right? See what I'm saying? So I was just thinking about everything. Then I was like, fuck. And then by the time I got down there, I'm like, okay, I have to do this rally. See what I'm saying? I have to like just talk about like, you know, the things that, you know, happened. See what I'm saying? You know, right? Yeah.
Well, let's jump right into it, man. Let's start to talk about what's happening on the product side and the progress towards the DeFi Superapp. I'll let you do most of the talking here, and I'll kind of jump in here and there. But at a fundamental level, you've been hearing us say this for a little while. The vision kind of crystallized over the last couple months. The Jupiter is building the DeFi Superapp for all users that might be wanting to come on chain. And this kind of starts with new users, right, Meow? So what does Jupiter do to help kind of new users as they embark into DeFi and onto the DeFi Superapp?
I feel like the really major thing that we did here was actually around basically if you think about it, right? It's like, so I think JUP Mobile is probably we can write the JUP Mobile, by the way. I think Jupiter Mobile is probably like the best like representation of that. But if you look at what we did, right, it's like we kind of modeled the idea of rather the full user flow, right, for some user, right? See what I'm saying? For the first time user, what they come in, right? They come in, they need capital. See what I'm saying? Right? Whether it is like so we created this thing called universal send, right? Which actually allow like anyone to actually send any capital to anyone, right? Even if I've been trying it, by the way, it's amazing, right? In Nepal, I created a QR link. send to someone, they could scan it, right? And they got the money right away. I wanted to send someone a present, right? So I'm saying, I sent something. I want to pay someone, so I did in 3 ways, right? I sent someone a present, I paid someone, and I also just like showed it to get a QR code and send someone in the mountains. So I'm saying, right? It was actually really great, right? And secondly, because Ultra V2 is there, so they can actually start trading instantly. See what I'm saying, right? They can start trading instantly, right? So they don't actually need SOL. You know how it's frustrating. You know how frustrating it is that when you are new network and you can't do anything.
Don't get me started.
So annoying, right? You can't like get your money somewhere. It's fucking annoying, right? And so we could actually. So I think basically, and obviously, if you so we are actually also really improving the. We're also really improving the. We're also working really hard to improve the onboarding, the bridging as well. So basically, I think ideally what happens is that like by the time maybe hopefully by June, right? We will have done a lot of work, right? Becoming like the best place to onboard people. And I really feel like we are really quite close, right? But I feel like in a couple of months' time, we'll be very, very close, I think. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's huge. I'm just showing some of the screenshots. These are your screenshots, right?
Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah. These are for some folks that you brought on with Universal Send. So DeFi Superapp for new users, you can onboard, you can bridge, you can do Universal Send.
Honestly, I've been just like, and one I also found a good use case today, by the way. So I wanted to send, I just wanted to send someone a gift, and I didn't want to ask her what address, so I just sent something. So right?
Easy.
I just send it.
Yeah,
easy. Like I don't.
Everyone's got WhatsApp. Everyone's got an email, right? That's the easy way to do it.
And I feel like I really want everyone's help to like really drive this forward. So I really want to, and I think the whole loop around like sending gasless swap and everything and stuff. I think that loop is like really great, right? So I'm saying, yeah, I think that. And by the way, guys, we do true gasless, by the way, not fake gasless, right? A lot of people, they do gasless and they charge a very high fee, 1.5%.
Yeah,
they get a high fee and they have a very high minimum. Our gasless is much lower fees, like much lower fees, but 10%, like 10%, 1%, and also much lower, and also much lower minimum. See what I'm saying, right? And thirdly, for any token, but for a vast majority of tokens, so it's true gases, not fake gases. I'm saying right now. Sorry, let's go on. Yeah.
Shout out to OG who had a nice viral tweet on that matter following the COC call the other day. That's right. This is so Universal Send, easiest way to get onboarded. Then we talk about DeFi Superapp for core users here, right? So of course, liquidity aggregation, been doing that since the beginning here. Spot trading, powered by what? By Ultra V2.
Okay, let me talk about this. I'm really on this. Okay, cool. All right. Yeah. Okay, it's a clippable thing for me. Okay, let's go. Okay. All right, let's go. Okay. So when something is hey Kash, you know the funny story?
What's that?
So I talk really fast, right? Usually.
No.
I do it. Yes, that's the time. But basically speaking, right, I think I actually, for those who don't know, I actually have a appropriate talking speed. I can actually talk slowly. Okay, yeah, I can actually talk slowly, right?
Start the timer. Let's see how long this lasts. I think that's the critical question.
In this moment, I will talk slowly. Okay, it's a skill set I trained, right? For the non-Irish speakers.
Foreigners. Everyone in Jupiter speaks English already, but foreigners to the island.
Foreigners to English. Okay, cool. All right. Yeah. All right, so sounds good. Okay, so I think first of all, when we first launched this feature, right, Ultra V2, we said 8 years in the making, right? Then people go like, hey, why is it 8 years? Like Jupiter hasn't for 8 years. You know what I'm saying? And the reality is simple, right? It's because actually I've been working on this problem, right? Of a perfect DeFi swap. Right, saying for 8 years. So I think I first started working in DeFi when I was advising like Kyber and that was before. But guys, this was before Uniswap. Okay, I started working in like DeFi before Uniswap. Okay, cool swaps before Uniswap, right? And those are the first generation. It's almost like the 0.5 generation of DeFi swaps, right? And back then, right, I was already very curious, right? Okay, it's funny, right? Because you see this very simple interface, right? A and B, A to B, right? It's almost like the swap interfaces are most like the search form of the web. See what I'm saying? I say again, the swap form of the swap form is almost like the search form of the web. See what I'm saying, right? And it's a very simple form, but it's just so much that comes into that. See what I'm saying, right? Around like, for example, like you get best price, are you will get all the tokens, what's the UX, what's lending, when you first come on your gas, what happens to your tokens, right? If the slippage is too low, you don't get anything, if it's too high, you don't get anything. See what I'm saying? All that kind of stuff. See what I'm saying, right? Gas costs, and so I think that so ever since I started working on it years ago, right? I've always been like really interested, right, in figuring out why is it so difficult to do a swap. See what I'm saying, right? So I think I've actually been obsessed with this simple swap form, right? So for 8 years, right? I'm not even joking, seriously. So I think it's only until obviously the Jupiter, right? And so over the last 3 years, it's not that honestly people think that so obviously we have for guys to do for our promise, our JUP promise was best price, best UX, and best token selection, right? So we actually worked really hard on that, right? For the last first 2 years, right? And then for the last 2 years, one of our main focus have been, hey, how do we remove what do we not like about swaps, about DeFi swaps? You know what I'm saying, right? We have you. Number one, you want all tokens. We hate it when there's no coverage. We hate it when you have to adjust slippage. So I'm saying you just don't know, right? I'm saying, so how do you get something that works for both like stables, right?
Yeah,
so I'm saying,
shooting in the dark.
Also mid points. So I'm saying, right? It's a very different use case, right? So I'm saying, but people don't know slippage, right? Even I swear to God, I was interviewing some users, and even they were using DeFi for a year. They were like, I'm not very sure what slippage. I mean, if you're working in the industry, you can't get what slippage is, right? So I'm saying, but then if you're not working in the industry, you know what I'm saying, it's actually really hard, right, to understand the ideal slippage. See what I'm saying? Like you got slippage, and not just that. In DeFi, you also run into all kinds of problems, right? For example, so if you're on a centralized exchange, makes sense, right? You know there's only one cash coin. See what I'm saying, or whatever, right? But then if you are, in a DeFi context, you have
permissionless jungle,
coins.
yeah, on chain, right?
That's it, right? So I'm saying, and also there's also much more ways to get rocked and everything. So I feel like so obviously another this sounds stupid, but another thing that's actually important is customer support. Like customer support is really important. See what I'm saying, right? So anyway, so another thing that we invested. So anyway, so long story short is that over the last 8 years, over the last 2 or 3 years, and we have been aiming to like think about everything that is like that makes it difficult, right? I'm saying, for a user to swap, right? So I'm saying, and really just like one by one, and even for RTSC, right? Which isn't here, by the way. There's so many things that isn't here, by the way. See what I'm saying? There isn't listed there on the thing. Okay, can someone add RTSC there? But anyway, but for RTSC, something that we actually worked on for a long time, right? We actually first tried to do it with a dynamic slippage, then tried to do it auto slippage, then tried to do it RTSC V1. So each of the iterations, right, of automatic slippage actually took us like many like honestly like 6 months, right? And no one else. I say no one else. At least I'm very confident saying this, right? Like no one else, right, in DeFi, right, or even crypto, invest as much in us in this simple form. So I'm saying no one else. Yeah, I'm 100% sure of that. Yeah, because there's so much backend learnings, infra that goes into that, and obviously trading as lending as well, right? So I'm saying, how do you lend transactions? Same thing, right? For example, say for example, right? Say you are doing a small swap, right? You say a dollar swap. You want to pay like 40 cents in fees, right? Gas fees, make sense, right? But say you're trading 20,000. You don't care. You don't pay $2. You don't
just
care.
get the transaction through.
Right.
That's right.
So they're just so, but even this simple thing, right? The relationship between like max gas you're going to pay, and also and the price of the trade is not in most swaps. See what I'm saying? Like the gas, for example, if you go to 1 inch, right, in swap, see what I'm saying? Whether you're swapping 30,000 or $2, they give you the same gas cost. See what I'm saying? Right? Make sense? And but we actually we just eliminate all that. See what I'm saying? We just like backend. And then there's Ultra V2. So basically, Ultra V2 is a proxy layer, right? That allows you, basically a proxy layer that basically just take care of all that stuff, right? Whether it's RTSE and whether it ranges from things like the lending, the best price, the lending, the execution, the MEV support, the guestless, the customer service, right? And also like auto limiting batch runs. So we just so it's a proxy that takes care of all the shit. Same thing, right? That really makes things difficult, right? And these are all things that I've been observing for like 8 years. Yeah, that's it. So yeah, but basically Ultra V2 and obviously gasless too, right? Same thing. But bro, even for gasless, it's a big deal as well because we actually really try to make it true gasless, right? True gasless means that as long as we actually support an extremely large number of pairs. Same thing, right? And practically, and all pairs is one of your. So we support a very large number any to any. You know what I'm saying? So you can trade a very small coin with another small coin, and and even if you trade an extremely cheap coin, right? Same thing. To as long as one side is sold USDC or a good enough coin, it works. Same thing, right? And that is really hard to do because you kind of because you might be funny because any bugs that you have about gasless, you're gonna get drained very fast. So I'm saying someone's gonna drain your gas wallet. So I'm saying,
that's right.
Yeah. So and anyway, towards a long term, so you actually have a really good way of estimating the price for the cost. So I'm saying, yeah. And anyway,
harder than it sounds, given there are 60,000 new tokens a day, prices fluctuate wildly, things get rugged all the time. Like I think what's cool about Ultra V2 is that it feels like magic. It feels as simple as just going to Amazon and buying something, even though on the back end, it's looking across like literally thousands to millions of transactions, all these different liquidity pools, finding the best price, getting you the best execution, doing all these other things, basically in the blink of an eye on the back end. It's truly pretty spectacular tech, and it's the fact that it's so easy to use that makes it even more spectacular on my end, at least.
Yeah, for sure. Some people are mentioning off ramps, but we'll talk about it later on. Yeah, I think off ramps are definitely a big thing for us as well. Yeah, but anyway, I think so a big thing for us now is to just like making sure that for me, there are a few things, right? I think we could actually, but anyway, long story is that it has been a big journey for me personally. As a team. I think Aaron wrote a very long post about Ultra V2. But the truth is that even Ultra V1 was built on top of a lot of things you've been working on, right, for many years. So I'm saying, yeah. And anyway, so all I'm saying here is that it's a lot of work, and I'm really proud of the team, right? Because I think we for like having this quest, right? So I'm saying to come be the best thing, yeah. And but again, this also includes things like customer support, by the way. Same thing, right? Because I think that's actually something that I think people don't actually. So I think it's also something that I think we make it so simple, right? That whether you're trading a meme coin or stable coin, anything just works. Same thing, right? Right. Yeah. And yes, you can set your own slippage, but I don't know if it's better. Same thing, right? I'm saying, yeah, we try to make it better. Yeah. Same thing. Yeah. So I think right. And I'm really proud of this thing. Yeah. 8 years, man. 8 years, bro. 8 years, man. 8 years. 8 years on one single feature, man. It's crazy, huh?
Crazy. I mean, it's more than a feature, I would argue, but yeah, it's a pretty incredible product. A lot of work. A big shout out to Aaron and the rest of the team who spent I don't even know how many hours putting this together on the engineering side. And then of course on the core user side.
Actually, just one quick note. I'm actually really proud of Aaron because I feel like the good thing about our team is that I think when you tell them that we want something to be the best, they really work on it. You know what I'm saying? They really work on it. They're very motivated. And this is true whether it's for Ultra V2 or whether it's the Jupiter Pro. And even if you're not good enough yet, we try to get better. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Jupiter Mobile as well, right? I feel like one of the core ethos in our team is that we like to go like, hey, you know what? We want this specific thing to be the best. So I'm saying, how do we make it the best? And everyone's just like really motivated to make it the best. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so I feel like that's actually a thing that we have in our team that I think is pretty good. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and I try to grab that. Yeah.
Absolutely. There's some comments in the chat that I don't want to bring too much attention to, but are definitely interesting. And then on the power user side, we can talk about a few of the products that are happening over there. Again, in the DeFi Superapp formulation, everything you need from starting to the most common activity on chain, which is of course token swapping, doing it on your computer, on your phone, but also for power users, a bunch of kind of pro level features here. What did you want to say about the power user segment in the DeFi Superapp?
Oh, I think that the main thing we do here is when we say DeFi Superapp, we really mean one thing, right? It's like how do we actually make it a one-stop shop for users, and also a really good way to discover everything else on that, right? Same thing, right? And this involves a few things, right? This involves like whether you are doing like pro token, right? Pro token, whether you want to easily discover new tokens that being like you can buy or sell, and then also over there we have a ton of features like alpha scan and everything that we're working on, and also portfolio tracking, also a killer feature as well. Where you can, again, like I think portfolio is a crazy feature, right? It's like I mean, the powerful thing about DeFi is that you can actually go ahead and use your account, right, on like 20 different menus. See what I'm saying? Right? And but tracking those things is impossible. See what I'm saying? Right? And that's why portfolio is so cool, because portfolio actually allows you to actually like really. And bro, it's so much work, man. I think the reason why we work together with like Sonar Watch is very simple. I think that I just didn't find another guy in the whole world. I know, guys. I'm not even guys. I'm kidding. Okay, I'm not, guys. Okay, it's funny. Okay, I have not seen a single guy in the entire crypto space or even in the world, right? See what I'm saying? Who is as passionate about portfolio as Guang? None.
And Olivier.
He's the most, and Oliver, of course, they are the most, right, passionate about portfolios ever. And I find that amazing, right? I was like, wow, you guys are so committed to bring the best thing ever. We got to work together. See what I'm saying? Right? So that's how it went. You saying? Yeah, that's how it works. Yeah, and it's great. I think it's a feature that we love. The users love. Obviously, one of the killer features of mobile as well. Yeah. So I feel like that's also another big thing. Yeah. Yep.
Killer. So basically, I mean, we're working towards a world where you really want to be able to say to anyone who comes on chain, comes to Solana, just use Jupiter. It's better. It's got everything that you need all there in one place, from onboarding to your daily activities to the advanced power user use cases as well. And this thesis is only going to get further built out as well. We'll have an announcement about this next week at Accelerate, and some other things that are cooking up that I can't spoil just now, but let me promise you, you're going to like them. And the DeFi Superapp is only going to continue to grow more useful. Drop a little just use Jupiter in the chat if you're with me on this. We're memeing this into existence. This is the good stuff. All right. Well, that's on the product side. We can talk now about anything else you want to say on the DeFi Superapp, or should we talk about the JUP DAO, buddy?
I think I just want to say something. I think we had this super app. Like I think we are gonna dive in. I think we made a lot of like really good. We made a lot of really good progress, right? In my opinion, right? I think we made a lot of like really good progress towards the DeFi super app idea. See what I'm saying, right? In the last, I think last 2 months. See what I'm saying, right? Where we really tried to, and the DeFi super app idea is a lot more than just okay. So it cuts across. Okay, I'll just summarize the DeFi super app thesis, right? Is that number one? It is like number one is a set of 3 things, right? Number one, it combines of the best products, the best community, and the best team. See what I'm saying, right? And these 3 are very important for DeFi super app, because if you don't have the best, it's like if you don't have a really good set of products, I mean, you can be DeFi super app with shit products, right? See what I'm saying? That wouldn't work. See what I'm saying, right? You can have a DeFi super app. You cannot really have a DeFi super app without a great community, because you can't get the feedback and users. But you actually need users for the shit. See what I'm saying, right? And the third component of DeFi super app is actually the team. See what I'm saying? That you really need a team that's actually able to deliver. See what I'm saying? On things like day in, day out, every day. See what I'm saying? So that's like one way to understand DeFi super app. See what I'm saying? Not just as an app, right? But it's a combination of products. See what I'm saying? People and users. See what I'm saying, right? And the second part of super app is, right? It's really about the flow, as you mentioned. See what I'm saying, right? You have to understand that for example, it's both for like new users, right, who come in, right, and for power users, right, and for regular users, regular usage. Same thing, makes sense, right? I say again, right? For you need to cater to the new user problems, right? The onboarding, the on-ramping, everything, makes sense, right? And then you also got to cater to the power use case, who actually want to do more, right? Same thing, they just trade. Same thing, and that's okay for the people that, and you also need to be the starting point for them to discover things. Makes sense? Cool. Sounds good. You see what I'm saying, right?
Sounds great.
And the last part of Superapp, I think, is that it cuts across 3 services, right? It cuts across the mobile, the web, and API. Make sense? So you can summarize the Superapp thesis in a 3x3 matrix. Make sense? Cool. It's a 3x3 matrix, right? So I think that's also if someone wants to understand kind of how we think about Superapp is this way. It's a 3x3 matrix. You saying? Yeah, like I think about it. Yeah, I think Opa has a good idea, right? She says that, oh, this one is Superapp. So I feel like what's actually going to be important for us in the coming week or even months is to be very, very concrete about what we mean by Superapp. You know what I'm saying, right? And of course, one thing that a quick teaser here is that I will go by June. So just a last thing to say is I think for me, this is my personal goals, right? By June, I would like Jupiter to be known to be affirmatively a DeFi Superapp. Make sense? Cool. And then by December, right? Ideally, we become a giga platform. See what I'm saying? Means that and I'll talk about it later.
Yeah. We'll give more details on that in the coming months as well.
My whole thing is actually in June, right? I really want it to be obvious that Jupiter is a Superapp. So I'm saying, right? Yeah. In according to the 3x3 matrix. So I'm saying, yeah. Hey, oh my God, Kash is not here. Let's go. Can we say something funny about Kash? Come on, chat. What's the hairy guy? By the way, do you know what's funny? I always when I call, so they drop whenever I talk to Kash, right?
What was that?
Nothing.
That's what I thought. All right, moving on. Why are people talking about my eyebrows in the chat right now? I go away for 8 seconds and then immediately I'm getting roasted. Interesting. What were you gonna say? What's the funny story about Kash, Meow?
Nothing. Go. It's fine. Let's go. So you're sexy. Let's go. You're sexy. Yeah. Let's go.
Well, 2 people think so, at least you and my wife. All right, let's
one person. Just one. Just one. Come on. I'm sorry to break it to you guys. But just one. Yeah. Oh, didn't hear. Hey, pull out Din. Oh my God. Let's go.
The world is going cashless illumination.
Din, the quantum cat.
Giga brain guy. He's obviously been working very hard on the Jupnet stuff that we're going to talk about later on. Okay, are the bet is that Meow is talking to us or talking to himself over there? I don't know what he's saying. Interesting. All right. Well, in any case, we're going to keep going. I don't know what's going on over there. Chaotic stream. Oh, if you missed me and Meow together, you will remember things get a little bit chaotic when we are hanging out here. Picking up Uber Eats, maybe. Well,
no, trying to drink water. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about the JUP DAO and the road ahead. Right now, in the recent past, a lot of things have happened with the JUP DAO. We'll talk about some of those right now, as well as what's coming up next. First is a major one. For anyone who missed it, we kind of foreshadowed this last week on the planetary call, but a major step forward in the journey towards progressive independence for the Jupiter DAO occurred, where JUP Soul, the most forward-looking LST, all epoch fees from the JUP Soul product will now go to the DAO to fund operations. This is a first of its kind, folks. Certainly a first of its kind on this scale. JUP Soul, one of the largest LSTs out there. Previously, everything that goes in there, the Jupiter team did not take any money from JUP Soul. It just went back into the APY to make it one of the best APYs that you can get anywhere when you stake your Soul. And we had this Jupiter validator as well. Now, what will happen is the epoch fees that come from JUP Soul, rather than coming to the team, they will go directly to the Jupiter DAO to fund operations. This now makes the DAO have its own revenue source, which is going to help its independence. It does not require the team to manually keep transferring over money, and it's a beautiful thing. At current prices, this is about $1 million a year in funding. And if you all who are watching this right now can help expand and get more people to use JUP Soul, use it yourself, of course. First of all, that's the obvious thing. But then try to get other people to use it as well. It's going to only further increase what the DAO can do and how the budget that it has to reach its purpose of accelerating Jupiter products, community, and ideas. Major development. This is a W. The DAO grows up so fast. I'm old enough to remember just like 2 or 3 weeks ago where we did the DAO resolution number 1, and people were like, what revenue streams? How is this ever possible? This is not going to work. And then a few weeks later, we come in and drop a banger on everybody's head top. Major shout out to Soju, who started the JUP Soul initiative. Would not have existed without his early efforts. And an even more major shout out to Italo from Ironforge, who has now joined the Jupiter DAO, manages the Jupiter Validator, and is doing things that are pretty incredible. Because number two,
so one thing that sorry, go on.
I was going to say, so first major update, JUP Soul fees go to the DAO, $1 million a year right now. Of course, that fluctuates with the price of Soul in terms of funding. The second thing, though, is that JUP Soul is not just for Jupiter, the community. It is also for Solana as a network. And JUP Soul and the Jupiter Validator that powers it is now the first major validator anywhere in the world to be running the Franken Dancer client, which is the kind of first thing before Fire Dancer. It's effectively Fire Dancer in many ways. This is a huge deal because having multiple validator clients increases the resiliency of the Solana network. It creates more client diversity, as it's called. So right now, almost all validators run Agave, possibly the Jito implementation of Agave. But if there's a bug in Agave right now, which is the validator client, the whole network could go down in theory. The more client diversity we have, the more kind of sure we can be that any small bug in one of the validator clients won't bring down the whole network. So it's very important that we have this kind of diversity. But people are, it's not easy to do. It's not easy to manage. It has some risks. But Jupiter Validator and JUP Soul, we're here for the betterment of Solana. We want to be pushing boundaries forward. And after Italo's proposal on the JUP Research Forum, we have officially moved to Fire Dancer / Franken Dancer. First of its kind at this level. As Will McFletcher says, the biggest. That is a big fact. Jupiter Validator is a top 15 validator by stake on Solana, part of the super minority, says Vibu. Indeed, that is true. So, huge things for the DAO. The DAO is now kind of pushing Solana forward, and JUP Soul will hopefully help the DAO continue to push forward. How excited are you by the JUP Soul updates here, Meow?
I'm super excited about it. I think we really want. Okay, so here's three things, right? Three things with JUP Soul. First of all, we have been working really extremely hard since day one, right? To actually make JUP Soul kind of like one of the best LSTs, right? In crypto, right? In DeFi. And I think we succeeded in that, which is why I think we do actually have a pretty big LST support and the fan base for JUP Soul, right? The second thing that's huge is that that's huge, and I really try to encourage that was actually when Idalo. Right, I encourage Adalo to put the post up and be public about his involvement. Right, so I'm saying. So I think from there he joined the DAO, which I think is huge, by the way. So I think it's
massive pickup.
Massive pickup, right? I think it's massive for the pickup, and you should put it there, by the way. So I'm saying. Adalo joined the DAO, right? So I'm saying. I think it's actually awesome. I think the third thing. I think the third thing that's awesome. I think the third thing that's awesome here is that I think it's awesome that we are the first. We're the first major DAO, or maybe even the first DAO, actually, I don't even know, to actually really experiment with LST like rewards, right? So I'm saying for the DAO. Make sense? Right? I think it's huge, by the way. So I'm saying, so because I feel like that's actually a really big way to a really important way to kind of like experiment, right? To experiment with the DAO funding. So I'm saying, right? Obviously, we want to do a lot more for the DAO. Obviously, I think there's a lot more ways for the DAO to kind of, but I think this is a big deal for the DAO as well. So I'm saying also it's a big deal because DAO funding is generally a really big deal anywhere in the world. Makes sense, right? I think that it's actually really nice that we actually have an asset, right, that generates the three things, right? Number one, generates like pretty solid passive income. Secondly, secondly is that it goes to a DAO. And thirdly, I think it also aligns incentives for anyone in the DAO, right? I'm saying to actually help to grow JUP Soul, right? It's also a really it's also as you mentioned, it's also a really a good alignment, right? Because it's actually one of those things that the community can really have to drive.
Every single person in the community can push this one forward, right? When we talk about accelerating the adoption and growth of these products, this is the kind of thing the community can do. And now the alignment is perfect. The more people use JUP Soul, the more resources the DAO can have to accomplish its mission, which is a pretty big deal.
Yes, and lastly, the running Franken Dancer. Okay, so here's the story there, right? The story there is actually Adalo has been running Franken Dancer and stuff from his own validator for a while now, as a test. You know saying, but he hasn't really switched. He hasn't really switched from the Python. He hasn't really switched from to Franken Dancer yet, because everyone's playing it safe, right? Same thing, right? So I think he was mentioning a few times, but I think no one really did it, right? But then what I did was I noticed a lot of discussions from people outside of Solana who kept saying that, oh, Financer is fake, Financer is fake. See what I'm saying? Right. So then I was like, okay, you know what, fuck you. I'm saying, what the fuck? Might as well make it real. So I went back. I went back to the Italo. I'm saying, you know, I think it was also really interesting because concurrently you were talking about the DAO thing, right? Make sense? Right. I think it was concurrently. I was like, oh, interesting. So this it's actually really interesting timing, right? Like you were talking about
about sending chips over to the DAO. Yeah.
And then this was happening as well. So okay, bang, let's go. Same thing. Yeah. So I felt like together it was a really good signal. Same thing. You know, right? No, Panda. No, it's not really risky because the only risk that there's no risk to the soul itself, or anything. And Adalo, and you should read the blog post. You should actually read the blog post by Adalo. He actually explained in detail about the risk and everything, right? So I'm saying. So I talked to him extensively on this. The only risk that can happen is that if we lose the rewards for 1 or 2 epochs, right? Which is it's sad, but it's not huge. It's not that big a deal. But there's no risk at all to the soul or anything. Yeah. So
in the sense that there's no risk that we could lose the soul or things could go down. It would be an opportunity cost of some potential missed fees for a day or two or something like that.
Yeah, precisely. Yeah, that's accurate. So I think in which case I think he will be willing to cover it as well. So I'm saying, what's the big deal? And I think all said and done, I think it was a good. I think he put a post up. I think people liked it. Right, so I'm saying. I think so. Yeah, I think this week we're going to kick off both things. Right, we're going to kick off the fee thing, kick off the financial thing, and ideally we can also kick off an educational campaign about OSTs. So I'm saying. So maybe that can be done as well. So I'm saying. Yeah. So we should do that as well. Yeah. Yeah.
That's right. Big step forward for the DAO. Big step forward for Solana, quite frankly. But that's not the only thing that's been happening in the DAO. In fact, as I speak right now, there is a new proposal live on the JUP Research Forum that will be going to a vote later this weekend. We've been talking about this for a little while. It is, of course, the proposal around a DAO alliance with Huma Finance. Drop a little Huma in the chat if you're a fan of Huma Finance.
Let's go.
If you don't already know, Huma Finance, the first PayFi network with a very clear mission, accelerate the movement of money for a world that's always on. They do this by creating these pools where you can actually, anyone permissionlessly now can deposit funds, which are then lent out to businesses that need it for short-term financing, basically. This is what PayFi is payment financing, typically. And they've been growing like weeds. They're almost at $4 billion in total volume, $8 million in annualized revenue, and they're growing rapidly. And the company's really not that old. I think it's only I believe it's about a year or less old. So these guys are crushing. So many people in the chat love them. And the reason they love them is because they've been deeply intertwined with our community since Cat Istanbul. Major shout out to Herbal, Richard, the rest of the team for helping produce that.
I got like Herbal was so amazing.
I mean, it would not have happened without Herbal. Let's be honest with ourselves, right?
Yes,
like Herbal was essential to that.
Amazing. Yeah, for sure. Fucking amazing. It was so important.
You know what I liked even more about that? It's not like he just kind of helped and he had an ask. There was no ask. He was just like, love the Jupiter stuff, love the Jupiter movement and what the community is all about here. Love the idea of bringing people together. Huh?
He loves me too. Yeah.
He likes you. He tolerates you. No, he loves the Jupiter community.
No, he loves me. No, he loves me. He loves me. Yeah, for sure, 100%. Yeah. I mean, okay. So some quick background. Some quick background here is that I've known Bill for a long time. Yeah, for a long time already. Yeah, so it's cool. Yeah, and I think he's a great guy, amazing experience, amazing everything. See what I'm saying?
That's right. As is his co-founder Richard, who I've become buddies with over the last 6 months, and many folks in the community have as well. What was so cool at Cat Istanbul was to see them not just sitting on the background, but mingling constantly, taking as many questions as they could, answering, helping like up-level people, contributing in all sorts of different ways. It was really, really excellent.
Amazing, amazing. And the cat thing wouldn't have gone about him for sure. It's amazing.
I mean, the cat thing, Herbal has a few gray hairs after burning Cat because the process of getting that done was pretty massive. But what is now in front of the DAO is a decision. Well, actually, first what's in front of the DAO is a draft proposal that you can go read on the JUP Research Forum entitled Proposal to JUP DAO, DAO Alliance, Huma Finance. You can go read the details there. It says a little bit more about Huma. But in this proposal, it's something very exciting. It'll be the first time we ever did something like this for the DAO. The idea is such. As a goal, unite two communities, the Jupiter community and the Huma community, that have the same values, right? Permissionless systems, global inclusion, real world utility, creating real value for real people in the real world, right? These communities are already intermingled. In order to kind of demonstrate the coalition and the alliance that we're building with Huma, we would do a treasury swap. $250,000 of Huma's token, with the ticker has not been revealed yet, at a $75 million valuation. Now, that $75 million valuation is more than a 50% discount.
Do you think the ticker will be something like Huma or something funny like Pay?
I don't think Herbal would want me to ruin the surprise. So I'm not going to say anything. Hopefully it's Meow.
I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Herbal, if you're watching right now, make it Meow. That would be the funniest of all possible cases. Or $Cash is not a bad shout for PayFi. Anyway, the point is the ticker will come in a little bit. But the first part of the proposal is this token swap, right, between the two treasuries. So Huma's token at a $75 million val, $250,000 worth. That $75 million val is a big deal, folks. You got to appreciate this. Their last priced round from VCs was more than double that valuation. So this is a steep discount just for the Jupiter DAO in exchange for $250,000 of JUP that we have in the DAO treasury. And reminder, there's more than $100 million worth of JUP. This would be for $250,000 worth of JUP. In addition to this treasury swap, which would have a 1-year lock so that neither DAO would be able to sell it, which kind of cements the partnership and kind of aligns our incentives into the future, there would also be, for JUP stakers, a pre-sale. 1% of the entire token supply of Huma's upcoming token would be available only for JUP stakers. And the more you stake, the more the presale you're able to participate in. Again, at that $75 million FDV, which is, frankly, is a crazy discount. This is an incredible deal with a 3-month lockup. And so the question, as people in the chat are saying, Monique said, justice for Meow's keyboard as he smashes it. Oh, and Herbal's in the chat here, and he says, I'll let the community vote between $Meow and $Cash. Yeah, let us know what the Huma token ticker should be. Herbal, excellent guy. This is the deal. The idea is, can we create an alliance between two communities that have the same goals, that have already been intertwined for months at this point, for the furtherment of the decentralized meta as a whole? In my personal opinion, speaking only for myself, I think it's an incredible deal, quite honestly. I think it's a great thing to kind of demonstrate the way forward. It creates some extra value for JUP stakers and for JUP token holders who actually end up staking because they can participate in this deal as well. And it aligns our incentives going on to the future. I'm super excited about this. It's possible that we do more of these as well if this one goes well. And I'm really excited to see where it's happening. Vibu says, why not both? Let the free market decide. That's right. This is insane. The general vibe in the chat right now is OMG is how I would describe it. People are definitely very excited. All of our risk is backed personally by Cash and Meow. No, it is not. There we go. Sufia says, what about swapping staked JUP to staked Huma tokens? There is no staking program for Huma tokens right now, so it would just be a 1-year lock on both of those. They won't be staked, but they won't be movable for the first year. It will not be first come, first serve for the presale, Juan. If the proposal passes, there will be a 2 to 3 day period where anybody can deposit. And again, the more JUP you have staked, the more Huma you're able to pick up in the presale. So that would be the idea there. Let me see if there are any other quick questions. Meow will acquire Huma at some point. We will not be doing that. Huma is a very well-capitalized and excellent team that's working on some great things. Herbal is a legend, says OG, and he is right. Let's just see if there's any.
I know, by the way, fun thing. We talked about this in the when shift happens podcast. But basically, me and Erbil organized the first Bitcoin talk in Facebook, right? Like way back. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, so it has been a while. Yeah,
been a long time coming, folks. So
and I stayed at his apartment and pissed off his girlfriend.
I was wondering if you were going to mention that part of the story.
His girlfriend kicked me out.
You were sleeping on their couch, right?
Was that? I don't know something, but I got kicked out. She found me too annoying, something, yeah.
Who would have guessed?
Yeah.
Anyway, so folks, if you are interested and excited about this, I encourage you to go to the JUP research forums. Not right now, wait until after the call. But then go there, drop your questions, leave your feedback, start circulating this among other JUP stakers that you know. As I say, the vote will happen later this weekend. I think it might be Friday, it might be Saturday, it might be Sunday. We're still trying to finalize the timing. There's some tech things that we have to work out here on our end. But this will be the first kind of DAO alliance proposal that's come forward. And I think it's really exciting as a potential path for the DAO, as a potential thing that adds value to JUP stakers, and as a thing that will be valuable for all of crypto, to take two great teams, two great communities, and formalize the relationship between them. All right. Yes. App Design says, you mentioned the presale will be affected by staked JUP. That's right. This is only for staked JUP holders. This is not for general JUP token holders. You have to stake your JUP in order to participate in this presale. That is correct. Okay. I think that is about all. There's one other thing that I want to talk about from the DAO perspective, and this is another big deal. I'm flagging this now. The vote will not be for a little while, so don't get too excited. Don't go crazy. But I want to make sure that people had some heads up on what was coming down the pipe. There is a DAO that we did a DAO resolution a few weeks ago. DAO resolution number 1, and it was number 1 because there was going to be multiple. As we look to better restructure the DAO or create the DAO in ways that allow it to deliver even bigger outcomes for Jupiter and for token holders and for the entire community. The first proposal smashed it, 76% in favor. I think it was like 83% in favor if you take out the abstain. Ratified our journey of progressive independence, where the team is still involved in the DAO as we try to figure out things like funding mechanisms and process improvements, and ratified the purpose of the DAO to accelerate the adoption of growth of Jupiter products, community, and ideas. In the second DAO resolution, we're going to talk about a pretty big change, which is around DAO representatives. I'm going to move Meow off the screen as he slaps on the keyboard. DAO representatives are a big deal, potentially. So this is still early thinking. Please do not get too excited. But here's the high-level overview of how it might work, all subject to feedback. The idea is to have 301 representatives, where each representative's vote counts as 1, no matter how much stake they have. The representatives themselves are actually decided by delegated stake weight. So maybe you only have 100 stake JUP, but you're a community leader. You've been aggressively kind of promoting Jupiter and contributing to governance and so forth, and you're able to get other folks to delegate their stake to you so that you can become a representative as well. So this would not be dominated by whales, because anybody can get more delegated stake. And once you're in that 301 representative threshold, every person has 1 vote, whether you have 10 million JUP staked or 10,000 JUP staked. Right? So that way there's some degree of evenness. These representatives will be able to vote only on a limited scope of things. So this is not going to get rid of full DAO voting. For example, anything that touches the community reserves or anything above a certain budget would still go to a full DAO vote. So we're not trying to disempower anybody. Instead, we're trying to make the DAO more agile, more nimble, and more able to make decisions without trying to draw the attention of 450,000 staking wallets, because we've gotten that feedback in the past that too much voting can also be a bad thing. But we have a lot of things that we want to do. So we need to be able to get the DAO to move more quickly. And the lovely thing here, in this representative system, for any of the representative votes, which don't affect the community treasury, which are below a certain budget threshold, anyone who delegates to an active representative will also receive ASR for that vote. That way, there's still an incentive for all stakers to stay kind of in tune generally with where governance is going. You can move your stake to people who vote with you, or again, like with your priorities, I should say, and it still stays a dynamic system. So you're not just staking and then never paying attention. You're still delegating. You're still trying to find the right people, make sure that they're actively involved, and so on. And if you do, you will get ASR without even having to vote. The goal here is to make it easier for the DAO to get stuff done at a fast pace without kind of weighing down on everybody, to have smaller budget discussions without the entire DAO and all the FUD that comes along with it for very reasonable and modest budgets, and to ensure that there's still engagement from a wide variety of perspectives. We don't want to make this 10 representatives and then it becomes a very small centralized thing. We wanted there to be a nice broad swath of representatives here. That is an idea right now. I'm going to post this to the JUP Research Forum myself tomorrow. I'm on a plane for most of tomorrow, so it'll be tomorrow night probably. And then I would love everybody on this calls and anyone who's not watching, all of your feedback on how we can make this proposal even better. The vote for this will not happen for at least a week or 2. So we have plenty of time to discuss this, but I want to flag it now so that everyone has enough time to start to think about it. That is the idea. Let me pull Meow back up on stage here.
Okay, I finished my slides. Okay, sorry. So I think that always. Okay. Anyway, yeah. So I think 1 second. Let me just Sri got it. Sri, you get it? Yeah. Is Sri on?
I mean, she's not on the call yet.
Oh yeah, sure, awesome, great, fantastic. All right, so Kash, okay, so this is obviously a really big. By the way, just for information, I think Kash is a really big potential update to the DAO. Right?
That's right.
Right. What is your do you mind sharing what's your inspiration, what you think about it, and like what is like and what's the goal that you want for it?
So the inspiration actually came from a bunch of community members. I've been spending the last few months actually, ever since Operation Yapper started, I think in March, where people had some problems with the comms or wish the comms were better. Been doing 4 or 5 public calls per week, or I should say group calls per week with members of the community. And what kind of came up time and time again was that there was so much more that the DAO could be doing. But it's like a giant, it's like a giant cruise ship. It's very hard to turn it in any direction or get it to align and do anything in particular. And so that really limited the agility of the DAO to kind of respond to, for example, reward talent, to, for example, kind of fund smaller things that were more than $10,000, but maybe didn't need every single person to kind of consider it. And so there was clearly this problem that the DAO was not being active enough. And especially after we ratified the DAO's purpose to accelerate the growth of Jupiter products, community, and ideas, it became even more clear that we needed some avenue to be able to have rapid decision-making from a wide base of people with the buy-in of the DAO, but not limited to only full DAO votes. So the goal here is really just to solve an important and pressing problem that many folks have come up with, and many people have identified. The end goal, I think if this works, is going to be a system where we can get more stuff done more quickly and where we have more community leaders, because every one of the representatives is a de facto community leader because people have delegated their stake to them and they are helping to drive forward decision making. And this allows more talent to kind of bubble up, more voices to become important. I know someone was talking about the politics of it. Indeed, the politics is actually part of the point, is that you want more people up there. It's not PPP because there's 301 representatives at least, and we might change that number. Maybe it goes down, maybe it goes up based on community feedback. That's the initial number. And the idea is that there's enough space for all different perspectives to come to the table. So that is the goal over here. And people, as Loki is saying in here, it's good to have representatives on a scale, right? Different people will have different perspectives and want to delegate to different folks. And so you can delegate to people that you resonate with. That's right.
So why 301? It sounds like a lot, actually. Yeah.
It is. And this is actually, so there's a few key things that I think we really need feedback on. So the number of representatives is a big one. How big should the representative body be? People have talked about it being as small as 21 folks to as big as 1,001 folks. I personally think 301 is a good starting point, but open-minded to change it because it's big enough that you get a lot of different folks. If it's only 10 and we use delegated stake weight, then it ends up just being the top 10 whales. And it's very hard for anyone to accumulate enough delegated stake to really break into that top 10 effectively. At 300, that's enough kind of variation in the amount of stake that smaller or medium-sized stakers, if they can attract enough delegation, can actually break in. Right. And you want to make sure that there's an ability for kind of community leaders and stalwarts who maybe don't have a lot of stake, but who can attract a lot of stake to be able to become representatives. I don't know if that's the right number or not. It's possible that 1,000 is the right number. It's possible that 463 is the right number. Like, I don't know the exact right number right now, but that is indeed what we're going to need to get there.
Yeah. What's the reward for the representative though? Any rewards for it? No.
The rewards right now, and in fact, in earlier drafts, so this has already gone through a few drafts with community feedback. In earlier drafts, I did propose a small reward as a percentage of the ASR that was delegated to you, but there was a lot of community pushback on that. And so the reward is if you're a delegate and you're voting, then you yourself will receive ASR for your entire stake. And 2, you get to help kind of improve the future of the DAO. And typically what we see is that the large stakers are voting every single time because they can get a lot of ASR. The reward is editing Meow's essays, says
it's painful here, but so I think that so basically I think your goal here is this, right? Your goal here is to create a alternate system that can vote more bureaucratic things, right? So I'm saying, so you still have a certain level of like representation, without being without dragging without putting the full DAO in. Is that the idea?
That's right. So like, you think about it like we can use some of the trial workgroup budgets as a clear example of this, right? Even though, for example, the DevRel workgroup vote passed overwhelmingly, right? Like more than 70%, and so did the design workgroup also passed with a very strong majority. There was so much FUD on the timeline, even though their budgets were, in my opinion, quite reasonable, and obviously in the opinion of the greater voter base. But it was because everybody was involved in that. A lot of FUD gets generated, a lot of contentiousness gets generated, and it's just not a good look, right? So those kinds of smaller decisions, we shouldn't have to wait weeks to be able to make those decisions and then deal with this kind of massive amounts of fallout. It should all still be public. It should all still be transparent. Every single proposal that the representatives vote on has to go into JUP research. Every single one of them has to have a comment for public, a period of public comment. Every single one of them would have to post updates to JUP research forum as a part of their accountability reports. But we do want to have some more things happening in the DAO without as much kind of, random noise, I suppose. So this allows us to get more done with more signal and make life a little bit easier for all stakers.
So how would that work though? Because I mean I get it. I think but first of all, my view on the workgroups vote is that I think regardless of whatever system, I feel like what is actually important is that everyone I feel like the problem is that the workgroup got very personal, right? I think what actually would be really good if like the workgroup itself gets voted on. Does that make sense? Right? Like not the people, but like, do we need this work group kind of thing, right? So I'm saying. So for me, I think the way I think about it is that it will be really good if the purpose work group is a full vote, because I do actually think that a work group is actually something that I do actually think that it was good that the work groups get voted on, by the way, because like, it's really different, because the power really comes from the broader community understanding and critiquing what you do, right? However, I think it got very personal. See what I'm saying? Right? Which is what I think is the problem. See what I'm saying? Right? I feel like, to me, I think example of, to me, I think the way the example I think about it is very much like, okay, cool, all right. We actually go like we allow the full DAO to vote on the work group, the need for the work group, and then we allow the representative to kind of like have a good power, right? Good powers to kind of like execute on things, right? That's how I think about it, And my other thing that I think about it, the other thing I think about it is actually simple. I think that there should still be an executive branch, like who can just have budget to do stuff. See what I'm saying? I think that's actually pretty important. You know what I'm saying? As long as they report wherever the budget goes, if that makes sense, right? Yeah. So I don't know. So that and thirdly is that I worry that and someone like question, must you delegate? Someone's asking, must you delegate? So those are three things, Yeah, must you delegate?
In this system, if you would want to maintain getting ASR on the votes that the representatives vote for, yes, you would have to delegate to them. Otherwise, you won't get those. But you don't have to vote. I mean, if you don't, then what? I mean, otherwise, then it just ends up like being an opt-in system. People can vote or not, and then you still have that same problem of the entire DAO moving very slowly, having to notify lots and lots of people, have a lot of noise and FUD and all these kinds of conversations. But listen, folks. Let me just make this super clear once again. This is a high-level early idea for early feedback. So all the points that you're making here, these are good points. And the reason that we have, multiple weeks of discussion before this actually goes to a vote is so that we can take into account some of these ideas. So, hey, maybe there's a lot of community sentiment that, we should not actually have it and it should only be opt-in, for example. Then we make that change. This is not fixed in stone at all. The point here is just to get the conversation going so we can get your feedback and start to move forward from there. As for the executive...
I think one last thing I'll share is that I think the only thing I'll share here is that I think that it's super interesting. It's a super interesting system. I would love to. I think for me, I forgot to say shit. Fuck. Sorry, go on. Sorry, go on. Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, the executive branch thing that you mentioned, that would be a separate kind of resolution that we would do into the future. And yes, people who are saying like, this is going to get intense. I see there's already a lot of strong opinions in the chat. That's great. We're not doing these kinds of things because like, we just want to do easy kind of fake governance. This is what real governance looks like, making meaningful changes that affect people and that affect the DAO's ability to get its mission done. You can say whatever you want about the JUP DAO. You cannot say that we're not trying seriously to make things better.
Yeah. I mean,
to take risks. These are experiments. This is hey, maybe this works out, maybe it doesn't. I don't actually know. But it's about the experimentation, and we could just be cozy, like, we're the biggest DAO, we're the most active DAO, blah, blah, blah. No, I want to be the best, most effective DAO. as well. And that's going to require this kind of continuous improvement to the way that we do
I love boss. I mean, I love bossy. I love bossy things, so it's good. I mean, so I mean, I love trying things. Oh, I got one thing. I got major feedback. I got a major feedback though, right? Cash. I don't know. It's like I don't think we should worry that much about the fund. I don't think so. I feel like I just don't want this to be done because of fun. I wouldn't want that. I really wouldn't want that. I really don't want that. I think if this is done because we want it to be effective, we think it's more effective and stuff, then I think I'll stand for it. My main thing is that I don't want this to be done because we're scared of fun, right? So I'm saying I don't know. I just feel like a fear-driven approach is never the way to do it, man. In fact, even the mobile background thing, I still think we should have done it. You know what I'm saying, right? That's actually my main thing. I think we should totally have done the mobile background thing, right? So I'm saying, yeah, fuck the fun. So I'm saying, yeah, that's what I think.
Actually, it's a really interesting like political theory question, right? Is like, to what degree should governance bodies do the things that the people want? Versus
but
like,
we don't know what people want. But we don't know what people want. That's the point of vote.
No, I mean, we know people don't want. I mean, like I'm telling you, I've talked to many people. They did not.
No. I don't know. You do vote that.
I'll take a vote on that. Yeah,
I'm very serious. I'm very serious here. I'm very serious here. It's like at what point do you lose vitality, right? See what I'm saying, right? At what point do you lose vitality? You lose vitality. Do you just listen to the most serious people? See what I'm saying, right? You're the most serious people, right? So I'm saying, and then the point is that if you constantly listen to the most serious people and stuff, right, then you just lose what makes it interesting. I'm actually very serious about that. Yeah, I think so.
This is what I mean, though. This is like why it's an interesting conversation of like, how much do you listen? Who do you listen to? To what degree do you take it on versus doing things that you think are better for the overall system? Like I will promise you this: it is not an easy thing, folks, trying to figure out where this is all going. But the good news is, we're not doing it alone. We're doing it together with everybody here in the community and all of the many, many thousands of voters.
I think the Diego. I'm actually kind of like with the Diego. But guys, this is a debate, right? Me and Kash debate all the time. I just want to. The point of me talking about these things is that we just want to show that, like, these are not things that we have set in stone, right? So I'm saying we think through these things a lot, right? So I'm saying that, for example, I also agree with the whole Diego thing. What he was saying about I do think actually Diego, he was saying that how it's good when. No. Earlier, he said that he was saying that he was saying that yes. I don't know. I feel like that's the whole point here is also to actually get people involved. I'm saying, right?
Again, just to be super clear about this would not get rid of full DAO votes by any stretch of the imagination. So there would absolutely still be full DAO votes, and people would still be actively involved. I'm not trying to get rid of anybody else.
I guess what I'm pushing for here is that I feel like the goal of this should not be to take fun. Right?
Correct. That is not the goal.
It's not, yes, but then it shouldn't be the point. It should be that we are the more efficient or something. You know what I'm saying?
It's
right?
not it's like
you have executive decision, community leaders, and also but 300 runs is a really big community group, by the way. So that's what I'm saying, right? So I feel like it's still a very big group, right? And then I don't know, but I think that so anyway, it's fine. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but I think the main thing for me, I think three things, right? Number one, I do think that it can get pretty tricky if we don't let people delegate. The second thing, the third one is actually quite a lot of people and could end up with just a messy system. That wouldn't be efficient. And thirdly, is that I do think that I do think that the purpose should not be to be scared of fun. So I'm saying, I know. To be clear, I am the result of fun. I create a lot of fun. So I'm saying, right? So maybe I shouldn't be saying this stuff, right? Yeah, whatever.
Indeed. Listen, I'm looking forward to those kind of comments and the discussion around this in the Jup Research Forum. Again, cannot stress this enough. The whole point of this is not to present this to you as fully baked, to be like, hey, here's some initial ideas after talking to a bunch of COCs about it, after talking to all the work group members about it, after talking to a bunch of other community members and token holders. But this is just the starting point. So this is very likely to change. In fact, it definitely will change in some fashion. Maybe the representatives go down. Maybe it becomes opt-in only. Maybe the barrier, like the scope of what representatives vote on, gets even smaller so that there's more DAO participation. All of these things are on the table over time. So we will see as we go. All right. Let's Kash is gentle parenting us right now. Trying. Anyway, all right. Those are the things that are going on in the DAO. Stay tuned for that. So Jupe Soul just happened. Most forward-looking LST, major milestone, community-centric. The Huma Finance draft proposal is up right now, waiting for your feedback. Vote will happen later this weekend on whether we should create an alliance between the JUP DAO and Huma Finance. And then finally, this DAO resolution number 2 around this representative system will come over time, probably about 2 weeks from now, maybe a little bit longer, but we'll have plenty of time to talk about that as well. All right. Let's go into the section that I think a lot of folks have been waiting for. Yeah, we're at an hour and 15 minutes, and we still haven't even gotten to Jupnet or yes. I literally have to go to the airport in an hour, so we'll have to power through this.
An hour, no problem. Easy. I'll just not an hour, no problem. Half an hour done. Let's go.
Okay, let's go. Start the clock, folks. Start the clock in the chat. Let's go. All right, Jupnet update. What can you tell the people about Jupnet?
Let's go. Okay, so anyway, so just quick overview and stuff. I think the high level goal, the high level mission of Jupnet is to aggregate everything, right? And then, so and then if you read my essay, right? So at Istanbul, I launched an essay around 3 things, right? 3 key ideas for Jupnet, right? So we have 3 like design principles for Jupnet. The first, the first principle is that we want to have a decentralized state of truth across chains, right? And we have developed a system for that. The second thing is the omission ledger, right? Which is kind of allows you to kind of like, keep a single ledger, right? On Jupnet that kind of tracks balances across chains, right? And the third one is an aggregated decentralized identity, right? So those are where we kind of allow you to do like multi-factor authentication, right? Directly on chain, right? Same thing, right? So those are kind of our 3 goals that we set out. Essentially, we want to kind of build a new kind of like network, right? Something that allows you to kind of like transact across chains. I'm saying, and easily deposit from anywhere, right? I'm saying, and also to kind of have a new look, right, at the and how like crypto identities work today. Yeah, those are our 3 main things. Yeah, and again, the whole thesis for Jupnet is the whole like million, it's a whole million people, it's a whole million chains, billion people, trillion token thesis, right? It's like in a world where you have millions of chains and billions of people and trillions of tokens, right? You know what I'm saying? So what kind of network can help to, facilitate that, right? So that's the goal. Yeah.
So then at Istanbul, we gave the technical preview.
So at Istanbul, I think at Istanbul for Jupnet, sorry. By the way, when for example, when I say million chains, I really mean something simple, right? It's just how they are like a trillion tokens. You know what I'm saying? But most of them might not be used, right? But there'll definitely be a lot of very substantial ones, 100% for sure, right? So then at Istanbul, we did 3 things, right? We did a technical preview and POC. So we presented a high level. We presented a high level goals of Jupnet. We gave a high level technical overview already, right? We kind of showed kind of like a POC, the preview, and we also did a technical preview. So at Jupnet was really at Istanbul, it really kind of really was focused on the technical preview, the high-level explanations, also POC, right? And obviously, there's still a lot of work to be done. Tons of work to be done. See what I'm saying? So we have been kind of really working on it since then. Yeah.
That's right. And since then, it's been getting even further. What does the work thus far look like?
So actually, a few things, right? First of all, I think we really has been kind of like trying to work really hard, right? In terms of like finding the best time to work with, because there's a lot of like very complicated challenges across the full stack. Because Jupnet is a full stack product, right? It's a full stack platform, right? So we want to launch with some working products. We want to kind of have a completely new look at the way the crypto UX layer. We want to have an entirely new. We also want to have an entirely new setup to we also want to move the SVM forward, right? And we also want to we also want to kind of obviously make sure that the DAO network, which kind of monitors the interchain transactions, is working well. And also we need to make sure that the LP, the vaults contracts, right? Everything is done well as well. So it's just it's actually really a full stack and multi-tiered kind of approach. So I'm saying, so we need to find essentially a lot of the work so far has been kind of finding the best time to work with, for a specific part of the stack. And sometimes you need really specific knowledge, right? Like for example, how to actually engineer a very specific part of SVM? How do you engineer a specific cryptographic library? So I'm saying, so those are things that we have been working on. Also, it's launching kind of like the best like interchain partners, right, across different networks. And also like some whether it's Sui and everything else. And then also like we also have been building a lot of test apps to make sure that the network works well, right? And one really big thing, right, we're working on is kind of like around the idea of ADI, right? So I'm saying, or UDI. Basically, it's kind of like on-chain multi-factor authentication, right? Basically, it's kind of allowing you to do things like social logins, or for example the social logins, or for example passkeys, right? So I'm saying, right, in on-chain directly. So I'm saying, so ideally when you use Jupnet, you don't need to use wallets. So I'm saying you can use passkeys, you can use social logins, or you can use EOAs. So I'm saying, right, or you can just and it should just work. So I'm saying, and you can also do recovery keys and everything, right? So I feel like that's actually kind of like this is obviously a big deal, because if we get this done well, this would probably be a really big rethink in how crypto UX is done, right? Because if you think about it, right, crypto UX fundamentally haven't changed, right, since Bitcoin, right? It was always wallets, always the same system. Makes sense? So I feel like with Jupnet, and it's part of the $1 billion. It's part of the whole like billion. Think about it, Jupnet, three things, right? Million people. Million chains, billion people trading tokens, right? Makes sense? So if we want to onboard 1 billion people, I'm saying, so we got to make the onboarding as easy as possible. I'm saying, and the wallet friction is definitely a big one. Make sense? It's something, right? Yeah. So that's actually the key thing. Yeah. So I think really it's kind of like but obviously in order to do that, it's actually quite hard, because we are kind of reinventing a ton of stuff. So I think we work on those things. Yeah. So it's by the way, just what you said, we are on our like third major iteration. We wrote and threw away ADI 3 times. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even know that. Interesting.
Yeah, 3 times. Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah. Nick. Yeah. Oh, and also one huge thing is that we actually did our first offsite in asset. We also did our first offsite in San Francisco, right? In San Francisco, I think earlier in April. It was really fun. It was like the first time that everyone came together, right? I'm saying, and then we were just able to just get a ton of stuff done, which was awesome. Yeah. Just really good to see everyone come together. We did a lot of things together, and again, Jupnet is like a multi. Jupnet is a full stack product, right? Platform. So it was really important for everybody to come in there and kind of talk to people, right, about kind of like different parts of the stack. So I think that so I think it was cool. I think we're gonna try to do the next one in June, actually. So we're gonna try to kind of get I'll show my updates on. We'll try to hit the next milestone. I'll try to do an update next milestone in June. Yeah. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff trying to do now. Essentially,
Nick, who made this slide.
Yeah, Nick made this slide. So basically, I think there are a few things, right? Number one, I think we want to basically build like so our current set of goals, right? It's like, I mean, obviously, at Kasambu, we outline some high level goals, but we have some like pretty clear goals right now for next milestone, which is kind of build the most progressive SVM, right? And also we want to build a really robust chain of the DAOs that can actually effectively monitor and scope chains. We also tearing the entire. We also tore out the entire SIG verify of SVM, which is a really big thing, because like SVM is basically signature verification, right? It's verify all signatures. So we tore that out and everything broke SVM. So we basically wrote a system whereby we can actually do any kind of like signature verification, any kind of verification on Jupnet. Right? So I'm saying you can plug in any cryptography that we want. Obviously on Jupnet we actually need a lot of different cryptography because we're doing ADI, right? So basically ADI, that means that we need to support a lot of different like cryptography schemes, right, for logging in. Means on chain, directly on chain. That means that's actually why we had to tie out the SIG verify. Same thing, and obviously also a lot of things to support the whole omni-chain network as well. Yeah, so that's actually so building out this like DAO VM is actually a really big deal. Yeah. Another one is the omni-chain ledger, as I mentioned earlier, right? Which is kind of like which is really important for and also the liquid UI, which kind of allow people to kind of like have it one seamless UI to kind of swap across or deposit and withdraw across all the support chains, right? So that's a really big one as well, right? And ADI is a fully on-chain multi-factor login. So so someone is asking Brodsky is asking kind of how the UX look like. I mean, we can show you soon. But essentially, it's just pretty simple. It's like it should just feel like logging in, right? If you do it correctly and stuff, right? If you do it correctly and stuff, logging in on into Jupnet directly, using Jupnet would be like using any web app. Same thing. You have you can do multi-factors directly on chain. The only difference is that it's on chain. Same thing, right? So the goal now for us is that can we make it as easy as on chain? Yeah. So that's actually the main thing. Yeah. Yeah. So those are things I'll be working on. Yep. Yeah. So basically, I think there's a lot. I mean, I feel like I'm actually really excited because I feel like the team has worked crazy hard, right? Because we are trying to do three things, right? Essentially for Jupnet, we're going to do three things. Okay. Number one, we want to build our own unique deck, right? Same thing on the omni-chain problem. Same thing. That's the first thing, right? The second thing to do is that we're going to build the most progressive and most awesome SVM. Make sense? And third thing we're going to do is that we're going to completely rethink crypto UX. Same thing, right? Yeah, you can pull up Nick Chen's thing. Yeah, comment. I mean, cool. So I think so yeah, that's one. Yeah, you can just scroll quick. You can go back one slide.
Yep.
Yeah, so in summary, in Castambo issue, thank you preview, right? And then and now we are moving on to like finalizing the design for the core systems, right? Whether it's white paper, and we'll publish white paper. We'll publish white paper soon. We'll do internet testing and all this. We're starting all this. Yeah, and I think Nick said it well. Like imagine your Google password gives access to all on chain. On chain, by the way, so not using any third-party system, right? Like Privy or anything, but on chain, right? And also like you can also use like so but basically you can also have passkeys, right? Same thing to double anything you have. Yeah. Yeah. So I think the next steps are I think at level testing, system audits, and white paper. Yeah. So all those things should be done, right, by June. Yeah. So hopefully June and stuff, or early May or June, we can actually kind of really share a lot of stuff there. Yeah. But guys, I think I beg for patience here because Jupnet is different. Jupnet is not like an app, right? Jupnet is a full stack infra kind of like play. And the real focus right now is on design, design, security, and talent. Okay, like design, security, and talent. Yes. So I say design, security, and talent. Right? Design because like if you don't design, okay. For example, if I am coding a website and I want to change the website, it's easy to change. Same thing, right? If I'm coding a smart contract, it's much harder to change once there's security in there. Same thing. But if you're coding infra, right, especially things around like cryptography and security and interchain stuff, the moment you change stuff, it's a lot of fucking work. It's very hard to change. You know what I'm saying? So that's why the design stuff becomes very important to get right. Which is also the reason why like we do that, right? And then the second thing we do the second thing we're doing here is also around the second thing we're doing here is also around like talent, right? I do actually think that the most one thing for the first year is to really make Jupnet like a really great place for both open source developers and all developers who want to be in. So I'm saying because the TVL users in the first year is going to be far less than the other chains. I'm saying so you're gonna network, right? So you're gonna actually be like the most interesting one to work on. So I'm saying so that's actually going to be very important. You're saying yeah. So I think the third one is obviously around like full stack testing, right? So I'm saying basically I think we want to kind of like really make sure that everything is well tested. So I'm saying again because like you have to be like so I think essentially we're not going to rush anything, right? We're going to really try to make it like the best omnichannel network, the best SVM, right? And the kind of the most like friendly place, right, for talent. So I'm saying so that's the thing that we focus on. Yeah. And hopefully I think we're going to have some pretty cool stuff to share pretty soon. Yeah, so go from there. Yeah.
Very cool. The objective is clear: build the best omni-chain network possible, push the SVM, the Solana virtual machine, to its limits, and completely rethink crypto UX that allows us.
That's a good summary. That's a good summary. Did you write this? Is that why you're saying that? Yeah, no, I didn't write to set. So anyway, to set expectations, that I don't like we like Jupnet is a long-term research, currently at still a heavily research stage. Okay, so I think the aspect don't we the idea of it, the idea of the Jup token being involved in Jupnet, right? So it's a much longer conversation and probably further off. So I'm saying, right, and for now, the focus is really to kind of like build things, okay? Like best automation network, push SVM, and also reading crypto UX. So I'm saying, so those are like the three things. And because if we don't do those three things, stuff like it's actually really, really like that, nothing else matters. So I'm saying, yeah, we're gonna do three things. Yeah. So for even it doesn't matter. It doesn't actually matter whatever we say. What actually is important now is that we prove that we can do these three things. Make sense? Right? Everything else like traction, everything, Jup comes later. I want to be very clear on this. Okay, Ken? Very clear on this. The only thing that matters right now, and Nick can comment as well, right? Is that it's the three things. Anyway, another big thing we're gonna do is that we're gonna set up. Probably over the next few weeks, we're also gonna set up the Jupiter research, like Jupiter research website, GitHub, and also the social. Cool. So all that's very important. Yeah. Sounds good. Cool.
There we go. Jupnet update for the folks that have been asking for a while. White paper before the end of the month, or
around there. No. I think what's important here is that for the white paper, seriously, let's serious here. The reason I kind of regretted talking white paper the timelines, mainly because for the white paper we want to actually have the core designs already outlined. Make sense? That means that we want to actually the white paper should actually outline kind of like the design, right? Of the Jupnet already. Make sense? Cool. Yeah. So I think because I think we wanna kind of like make it better. So make sure the design's there. Yeah. That means that that's all. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, folks. That is the Jupnet update for you that a lot of you have been asking a lot about. But before we go, we still have one more critical section. It would not be a Jup rally without a little Meow essay. Not so little, I should say. And this is an essay that, Meow, you basically just started this today, right? You just started writing this earlier today?
Nah, it can't be. No, I've been writing for 8 years actually. No, I'm joking. 8 years. I've been writing for 8 years actually. 8 years. Yeah. So I think I've been writing for 8 years. 8 years now. And I think it's really important for me because So I think here you go. So I'm not published yet. It's exclusive for Jup Rally, right? So I'm saying it's a draft. It's a full draft and it's very, very long. It's a full draft and it's very long. Okay. It's full draft and it's very long. Okay. But basically, I think it outlines. I think and the reason why so check it out. It's a really important essay for me. I'm going to talk about it on, but essentially, I think that I basically number one, it anchors a lot of stuff that I've been thinking about and my motivations for being crypto, right? It's actually my motivations of being crypto. Okay, and I want the people on the call today, because you guys are legit probably the best ever community if you are here on the call, right? I just want to share you guys first and just talk to you guys first about it. I think that so I think it's long, by the way. It's like 12 pages, right? So I think in this call and this essay is important for me and for Jupiter because it actually outlines a lot of the reason, like why we do things, like why we build a support app, and why I'm so supportive of new tokens. See what I'm saying? And why we are, and also a lot of the experiments that we are going to do around new tokens too. Make sense? Cool. Which actually has a lot of and why we are so supportive of the pro stuff. Make sense? And also why we do Jupnet. I'm saying, so this essay, there's a lot of details in there, and I really spent about like 3 months. I'm not joking, 3 months, right? To really and it's not even good yet, right? It's not even good yet. Okay, it's not even good yet. Okay, cool. That's why. But I'm forcing myself to put it out there first. See what I'm saying, right? It's not good yet, right? I hope to talk to you guys about it a lot more over the next 1 month, to make it good, and then we can publish a full version. Make sense? But again, the reason why yes, yes, people can compose. People, thank you so much, right? Yeah, but anyway, I think that the key thing is right, is like I think I know I'm stumbling because it's so important for me that we get this right, because it really anchors why we do things. Like why we're doing things. Like why do we do things this way? Why do Jupiter care about these things? Also, another reason why Kash. One thing that actually can I share something very personal?
Yeah,
guys, can I share something very personal?
It's just you and me, buddy, and 8,500.
Cool. Just you and me. Okay, cool. Last year I tried to actually launch a new meta, right, for a new token launch. See what I'm saying? And I think the feedback for that was actually really bad. Right? I'm saying, yeah, because I feel like mainly because of I think there was a lot of controversy about the who I was working with, right? And I think who we were working with, and actually it wasn't fair. Like I think it turned out that a lot of the criticism wasn't even fair. I'm saying that she actually didn't do a lot of things that people said she did. I'm saying, right? But I think it really speaks to how much tension there is around the idea of new token launches. I'm saying, right? And also one reason, also LG as well, right? I'm saying. So I think so personally, I think I'm extremely supportive of new token launches and experiments and metas, right? I'm saying, right? But I think it's actually very important that I let the whole world know why. I'm saying, yeah, like how I see the world moving forward. Yeah, how to do something about it. Yeah, but let's go on. I think today you need to go for a flight. So I think so I think that just counts on key ideas, right? Okay, so first of all, why Web 4, right? So why Web 4? Now Web 1, internet. So let's start. Now let the where's Kash?
I'm right here, buddy. I'm just letting you cook. Go for it.
Okay, cool. All right, now no, Kash, come on, let's go. Can you not do this to me?
Also trying to eat dinner because I have to go to the airport soon.
Oh no, I'll be fast. 10 minutes. Cool. 10 minutes.
Let's run it. Let's go.
Okay. So guys. Okay, now I'm going to go through with regards to key ideas for the essay. Okay, cool. All right, and then and we'll be going through that a lot more in spaces and everything. Sounds good. Cool. All right. First of all, why Web 4? Right. So Web 1 was the internet, right? Web 2 was the social media. Make sense? And Web 3 was the blockchain, right? And Web 4 is basically social monies. You know what I'm saying? And there's actually a very, very big parallel, right? Between so Web 1 was technical, Web 2 was social, Web 3 was technical, right? And Web 4 is social. Make sense? Cool. Sounds good. All right. And secondly, and next stuff. And secondly, there's actually a very big parallel, right? Between and actually what's actually important here is this, right? Is that in our industry today, right, we're built up a power, right? A Midas like power, right? To turn anything to financial value.
It's a bar, right? By the way,
it's amazing.
That's a banger line of the Midas-esque power to turn anything into financial value.
But you see what I'm saying, right? Makes sense?
Yeah, no,
right?
that's why.
But the fundamental issue right now, right, is that we haven't really. But fundamental is that we're just creating assets right now. See what I'm saying? Right? We haven't really. So question is like, we're not actually using the things that we do. See what I'm saying? Right? Which is also why I think another big thing that it's like we are not really using these things and monies. See what I'm saying? We're using that. We're just creating assets right now. See what I'm saying? Right? And then and then so I think what's actually important is that it's now time, right, to actually take the massive speculative machines that we have built, right? I'm saying to actually create a social monies we all use. See what I'm saying? Right? I think that's a really important point, and that's the thing that I really want to work on, right? I really want to work on a world where we don't just create assets and stuff, right? But we actually turn these assets into money that we all use. And guys, I'm telling you, this is also important because this also explains why we do JUP this way, right? So I'm saying why we create why we didn't just make JUP a token that you just do nothing with. So I'm saying, right? We really want to make JUP something. We really want to make JUP like the social money for the JUP peoples. So I'm saying whereby there's actually a real community and real goals and real objectives. So I'm saying, right? Makes sense?
The Meowdist touch. That's nice.
No, hear me out, right? Hear me out. It's just a Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin is two things, right? Bitcoin is both an asset, right? I'm saying, and also also a social money. Makes sense, right? Like Bitcoin has both asset value, right, and also serves as a money, right? Saying for a big community, and that's actually what makes it meaningful. See what I'm saying, right? The duality of the asset, right? See what I'm saying, and the purpose, and the fact that it is actually money for a community, right? It's a sense of something. I'm saying, so I think that's what I think that's actually what we should all aim for. So I'm saying, to create money and stuff that actually all use, not just speculate. That's next year. Actually, I think there's also a very powerful parallel to Web 2, right? So I'm saying, like the first, just like how Web 2 democratized like content creation, right? I strongly believe, right, that Web 4 will actually democratize like money creation. Yeah.
Another great line.
Of course, amazing. And I guys, think about it, right? It's like, no, but seriously, right now, probably only like 50, 60, 100,000 of us are only doing, imagine, are only being involved in the creation of like, tokens, right? Now, but what if, imagine this, right? Imagine a world whereby like, a world where billions of us, right? Same thing, will take part in the process of creating, distributing, and governing, right? Same thing, like millions of social monies. Same thing, right? That day will come. It's coming faster than we think. I'm not joking. Seriously, I'm saying it's just like social money, right? Social media, social money, right? So I'm saying, right? It's just like how Kash. Remember how the world was? Remember how no one believed? If it goes 20 years back, no one actually believed that everyone will be posting videos and doing it online, right? But we live in a world now. So I'm saying, right? And then we also live in a world, right? So I'm saying, no, of that social money as well. Yeah, I'm very sure that, and this is something even more sure of. I'm very sure that we'll all actually create, and simultaneously use a lot of money. That world is coming. I'm saying, that world is coming for sure. Yeah, and the question becomes like, how do we create a system for that world, right? So I think what is important for me, Bitcoin. So people ask me what's a social money, right? I'll give you Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin is a great example of that, right? Of something that's both an asset and also a social money system, as I mentioned earlier. So I'm saying, right? Yeah, it's both something that, so the asset, the fact that it's a powerful asset actually creates the impetus for people to hold it, right? Sense? But everyone who holds it actually, right, becomes part of a global movement, right, to decentralize finance. And it's huge. See what I'm saying, right? And I argue that is actually, next slide, right? And I argue that that's actually something that I think we should gun for, right? Anyway, I think Web3 is largely about technical advancement. Off-chain, there's something as well. Web3, by the way, guys, one big thing. Web3 is largely off-chain, by the way. The vast majority of people and stuff, right, actually run off-chain. Make sense? Right? But Web4 will be on-chain. It's a huge deal. Because the on-chain part is actually what allows social money to happen. I'm saying? Because if assets are just like off-chain, they're just asset, pure asset. I'm saying? It's not the Tesla stock, right? But then if it actually goes on chain, then it has the potential, right, to actually be used and governed and managed, right, by people. So I'm saying, right? So I think that's a key thing, Right. The next point is actually very important for me, right? And I promise I'm being pretty fast here. It's that like money is okay. This is your very important, okay? End of the day, right? This is what I believe, right? And it's something I've been working on for like 20 years, right? I strongly believe this, right? That money is a social technology that can be used, right, to solve almost any kind of social problem we have. Right? So whether your problem is now rallying around a meme, or whether you're trying to form a community around your project, or whether you're trying to solve world hunger, or trying to get enough attention for yourself, see what I'm saying? Right? It's all those can be considered social problems that money can be used to solve. See what I'm saying? But we have to invent new monies for these things. Yeah. So I think so that's my last controversial point. I think that the fundamental purpose of actually crypto is actually generating for money. Yeah, I actually believe that. Yeah, it's not assets or anything else. It's like move monies. Yeah.
I think what's cool is that, I mean, since I've known you, you've been talking about this point actually. So it's great to get this out into the world now. So in Web 4, what happens?
I think Web 4 will actually really we will get extremely creative. I think so far, you think Web 3 right now, right? We are really kind of still at the phase of just creating assets, right? Make sense? Largely, right? Make sense? And I strongly believe that in Web 4, we will actually return money to its roots. See what I'm saying? Right? Becoming something that anyone can invent. So if you have a problem, you invent your own money to solve your problem. You see how radical thinking is and stuff, right? You can invent your own money to solve your own problem. You see what I'm saying? Right? Make sense? Right? That's a very radical thing. See what I'm saying? Right? That we are not there yet, right? We are not there conceptually, mentally, right? I'm saying, but think about it. Think about it, right? Bitcoin was created, and it literally solved a really big social problem. How do you coordinate billions of people, right, to work on decentralized finance? JUP papers, right? How the JUP token? How do we create a JUP token and stuff, right, into something, right, that aligns the entire world into pushing like our vision of the world. See what I'm saying? Make sense? Right? That's what I care about. See what I'm saying? Right? Web4, for example, right? And also, by the way, if what is actually really important from a conceptual point of view, right, is that like social money, right, will look nothing like the money today. But Kash is from you, by the way. Kash is from you. You're saying you said it really well. You said that like in social media, TikTok looks something in broadcast video, right? Same thing. And same thing. I think social money will actually look nothing, right? Same thing. Like money today. So we need a completely new look of money. Same thing. Yeah. Yeah, so this I believe. I think that whatever Bitcoin has done for financial decentralization, I think we will see millions of monies come do any kind of social cost, right? So I'm saying, no matter how big or small. Yeah, so I truly believe, right? So I'm saying, so guys think about it, right? And lastly, it's really important. Think about it, right? Imagine if you understand Bitcoin not just as an asset, right, but as a social money for a big movement. So I'm saying, right? You can start to think, wow, holy shit, what if we can create money for any movement in the world? See what I'm saying? Cool, right? Because there's nothing more motivating aligning than money itself. Yeah, cool. And lastly, this is the most controversial point, okay? Like money itself must be scarce, right? But monies can be infinite. See what I'm saying? So that's actually a key thing. Yeah, I think that's actually really important. Yeah, that any given money must be scarce, but monies can be infinite. Yeah, so that's actually something I think is actually that the world will know. In fact, think about it, right? Even the word money is very unconventional, right? See what I'm saying? You don't really hear the word money being thrown around, right? In fact, fun fact: if you go to Google Docs and you type monies, they give you a blue
red line underneath.
Yeah. Wrong spelling. Yeah. That's it. So lastly, it's very simple, right? And this is where Jupiter comes in. Okay, this is the crutch. This is where Jupiter comes in. Okay, and creating Mulu. I covered this point extensively in my essay. Go read it. I cover the interplay between scarcity and abundance very extensively in the essay. So go read, right? But anyway, this is actually where Jupiter comes in, right? Creating infrastructure, systems, and platforms, right, across the entire money creation stack, whether it's governance and usage chain, it's going to be absolutely crucial. You know what I'm saying, and that is what Jupiter will do. Whether it's our products, our acquisitions, or our strategy, our community building, how we will Jupiter, is for this goal. You know what I'm saying, because we believe that we're going to live in the world of million chains, billion people, and trillion tokens, and there's going to be like millions of social monies that everyone's going to use. You know what I'm saying, so we are just at the beginning. Right, so everything we are just at the beginning, cool, and so that's our goal going forward. We're going to create the infrastructure. We're going to create the infrastructure, the systems, and the platforms, including Jupiter's, across the entire stack, right, and the chain. Yeah, to towards a goal, because we really want to help the web formation, right? Whereby we entire. Because guys, one last thing I'll say is this. I'll end on one last thing. Okay? One last thing. In Web3 today, we are merely preserving the power structure of the world. I'm not joking, seriously. For everything we have done, the power structure of the world is exactly the same. See what I'm saying? Right? Exactly the same. What we want to do for Web4, the power structure of the world can only change, right? When everyday people invent their own monies. So I'm saying they can use. So I'm saying because finance is power. So I'm saying and whoever controls the money creation, right? So I'm saying has the power. So I'm saying, yeah. So that's it. So I feel like that's actually the main thing, right? That's why I am personally extremely motivated, and that's the reason why I'm very long term, because I really feel like this is actually the mission I want to work on. So I'm saying, how do we really liberate like money, right? Saying for billions of people, right? I'm saying because I really think that's the only way to solve like both like extremely trivial problems like how to financialize memes, right? I'm saying, and also how to solve like really hard problems like climate change and world hunger or Gaza. I'm not even joking. Seriously, at some point, these problems will be solved with social money. I truly believe that. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Well, it's not. Is that it?
Oh yeah. I mean, obviously, I think we. I think. So we are definitely going to start down a particular direction where we are going to try to encourage a ton of like we're trying to figure out how do we unlock. We're trying to unlock this thing, right? And we're trying to unlock how we allow. Like a full diversity of like monetary systems and community currencies to emerge. Then we're gonna try to create new metas and stuff, for experimentation. And yeah, so I think I think that I think that yeah, we're gonna try. So I think all I'm asking here right now is that I would like you guys to be understanding, yeah. And yeah, so if we're going to do experimentations and things might work or might not work, yeah, I'll go from there. That's all. Yeah.
There we go. A little teaser for y'all, folks. How does it feel, Meow? I know that this has been baking in you for a long time. Does it feel good to get it out into the world?
Yeah, I mean, like, so what fun fact is that I'm feeling really uncomfortable with the essay because I know it's not great. I know it's too long, blah blah. But I just thought it's actually important for us to just get out there, and I'll tweet about it. That's good. Thanks, bro. So thanks, Kash. Thanks, Deepu. Thanks everyone. Kash especially, who has been saying this forever. Thanks, Deepu, for going through million drafts of mine. Thanks, Samantha. Thanks, Jenny. Thanks, Kat. And thanks everyone for helping everyone, helping me out. Thank you so much. Yeah, but I'll be in 1 month. I'll be getting a lot of feedback from everyone. I'll be looking to publish a full essay in a month's time. Yeah, thanks.
Can I say one word about this as well, real quick?
Yeah, sure. Please, yeah.
Obviously, I mean, you and I have spent, I don't know how many hours talking not just about this essay, but the ideas behind it.
Please tell me, please. I really want you to say something about it, please.
Yeah, I think what is people should go read the essay because there is a lot of nuance to it. I think that the structuring of it is hopefully pretty clear and kind of gets the ideas across. But fundamentally, I think this is one of the things that actually drew me to Jupiter specifically after Super Team is this idea that this is a company, this is a project, this is a community that has more than just some short-term kind of profits in mind. Thinking at this scale with this level of vision about, hey, this is where we think the world should go. This is the way that we think it's going to get there. And here's how we build to create that better world. I think is critical and important. And I find it really inspiring, even if we disagree on individual points across it, to have a big vision. Yeah, I think that's it's really exciting to me. And so, yes, it is a long essay. I really encourage people to read it in its entirety. You will definitely learn something and you'll leave with a different way of kind of seeing the world. And I'm really excited to hear the kind of conversation that's sparked by it.
And thanks, Kash. Thank you so much. Thanks for telling my shit. I think we first talked about F1 stuff a year ago. And thanks for just working with me on it. I'm saying, and I think that it's my pleasure. It's my pleasure working with you. I think, and the Jupiverse is very important, right? Because we want Jup to be the social money for Jupiverse, right? And we want the Jupiverse to have a certain mission. I'm saying, right? Of and I think that mission is around how do we really decentralize? How do we really empower people and liberate money? I'm saying, how do we really liberate money and empower people? And by the way, fun fact, this is also the reason why I'm also going with Arab, right? To the weirdest countries and the smaller spaces, because I think doing that actually gives me an extremely good sense of the kind of all the vast differences in the people living environments. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I think it's all part of this thing, and hopefully in a month's time we can consolidate and come back to it. Yeah, and obviously in the meantime, obviously we can launch our products.
So the product teaser, the infinite diversity of social money systems, something coming soon from Jupiter on that. Keep an eye out. I need to keep an eye out the door because I'm going to miss this flight otherwise. So I will say thank you all very much for joining. This was an excellent Jupiter rally. Hopefully you agree. We covered a lot of ground from the DeFi Superapp vision for Jupiter as a product suite, improvements and upgrades to the DAO, Jup Soul, as a reminder, now revenue going to the DAO, free funding, or freestanding funding for the DAO going forward. The Huma draft proposal is live right now. Jup Research, go check that out. And then my representative proposal will come up in a little bit. We talked about Jupnet and the major updates that are happening there. And of course, we talked through the idea of Web 4 live for the first time ever. All I can say now. Let's go. Jup Rally, as always. There's only one flavor of Jup Rally, and that is the banger. So drop a little W in the chat if you're feeling good. Excited to catch all of you in Accelerate. We're throwing an event on Wednesday. Make sure to come to that if you haven't already signed up. And I'll see all y'all very soon. Goodbye.
See you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.